All right. Great day, y'all. I am English Simone, and I am officially off the clock. So when I'm off the clock, I take my professional hat off, I take me a seat, and I let my students be the teachers for a moment, because at the end of the day, I might be grown, quote unquote, but I don't know everything, contrary to popular belief. So the basis here today is I want to get some of our youth involved to kind of tackle those subjects that we adults think we know everything about, but deep down we don't. And at the end of the day, it causes a divide and nobody's benefiting from it. So on today, we're going to tackle a real good topic. Y'all think y'all ready for this topic? Yeah. You sure? You ready? I ain't getting enough yeahs over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all ain't got no choice. You got to be ready. So today, we are talking about youth, gun, gang violence, and the gimmicks behind it. Now, it's a really touchy topic for some, and for others, it's everyday life. But what we're going to do today is dismantle all those things you thought you knew, and we're going to lay it out here for our youth to help us understand, and also get some resources in place to not just help them go forward, but to also help those who might be watching it and need that type of assistance, and they're just ready to come forward. So, and this is the fun part, right? Everybody got a story, everybody got a tagline, everybody got an elevator speech, or at least you better have one. So I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to go down seat by seat and introduce you to my wonderful lineup of panelists. And in the first seat is Mr. Caden Weeks, a.k.a. the Comeback King.
Yeah.
Alright, now Mr. Caden, the Comeback King, is currently working towards finishing high school and becoming a state champion in track. Now, I ain't ran since first grade, so he already got something on me. So his future goals are going to the military to get a certificate in cybersecurity and to create programs to help people in communities nationwide. And thereafter, he's going to college to get a degree in political science. Okay, politics. We need more of us in those offices. And then he's going to get a job in politics so he can change the community brick by brick. So a round of applause for the Comeback King. All right, and next to the Comeback King, we got that boy. We got the kid genius himself, Mr. Jalen Walker. Now this kid right here, I say definitely is the face of what adversity would not look like if he didn't hide it so well. He has overcome so much. He's definitely walking in a path of greatness. And this guy is a biomedical engineering major at Georgia State. I'm sorry, biomedical science major at Georgia State. So you already know we have two of America's greatest leaders right here today doing things that y'all probably can't even wrap your minds around. So y'all be sure y'all give it up for Jalen Walker. That's right, that's right. And to my right is Princess Maya. Now Princess Maya, she is a film major, correct? So she's actually helping me inspire this setting here, making sure that we got our lighting and everything correct. She's making sure that my posture is okay. And she's going to make sure that when I'm printing and they're projecting that you guys can hear us well. But we need those types of visionaries in the world, because guess what? Just like we're on this podcast today, we need to see things from different perspectives, and visionaries like our film majors make that happen. So she's going to also tag in and give her input on youth, gun, gang violence, and the gimmicks behind those things. So, and again, we want to make sure this is conversational, no stress, no strain. We want to lay it all out on the table. And when you're off the clock, when I'm off the clock, and when they're off the clock, we're not judging. I want them to be as authentic as possible, because without truth, we can't get real answers. But I am going to hit y'all with the first question. I want y'all to chime in where you can, when you can, or however you feel. And we're going to just let it flow from there. Alright? Okay, so how do you think gun and gang violence affects our communities, especially for young people like myself or you guys?
I feel like as a community, we use gun and gang violences as an excuse. You know, we put the blame on others and not ourselves. You know, and sometimes we gotta acknowledge ourselves as part of the problem. You know, see, it's not something the community made gangs, right? Originally, it was as a community service program to help the community, to help blacks. How the gangs started as a community service and turned into gang violence? How did black on black crime became so normal, became the norm? Why is that glorified? Like, I feel like as a community, we got to take some of the blame, step back and look at it. You know, as a community as a whole, where's the village? Without a village, how we going to save people? Without a village, how we going to save the community?
That's perfect. What was the question again?
Like basically, how does it affect the community? How does gun and gang violence affect our community, especially among younger generational youth?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you said, it became the norm. Not everybody gonna be so caught up in that image they won't forget who they really is. And like, I feel like every come up story you'll hear about an artist or some entrepreneur, they hear about, or they'll be like, yeah, man, once I finally just found out about myself, what I want to lock into, and I separated myself from the crowd. It's always in the big. People get lost into the cycle of being what they see. You know?
Behind some things.
I would say our media promotes it in a way that it sometimes looks like the trend or the thing that everybody should like become, and it's not as picture perfect as everybody makes it seem. It's not like, oh, it's money and this. It comes with a lot of stuff people aren't always ready for. So it's definitely promoted in a way that it's not supposed to.
And it's like, to be honest, as my history, I know it from firsthand. It's not sweet. It's not something that's nice. It's not something that's cool. It's not something that's fun. It's not fun to look behind your back every day. It's not fun to know where you can't walk to. It's not fun to have a adrenaline rush every time you walk to a certain place and somebody look at you crazy.
Right.
It's not fun to have to carry a gun everywhere you go, especially when you young, you know. And then plus, it's not gonna be no change. Because all it is going to be, I kill you, you kill somebody I know, and I had to kill them. And this it's just a cycle.
It's crazy. And it's funny that you mentioned that because a lot of people, like you mentioned, is influenced by media, right? Yeah. And they see what's in the movies. They think it's a game. Yeah. They really think it's a game until they actually ask to play. And so, you know, and even being in a situation where I myself haven't been affiliated, but I've dated somebody in that space. Yeah. And then when you connected with that person, you constantly looking over your shoulder. So now it's like, how can you even be comfortable in that situation? You can't sleep at night, or you're constantly worried about you can't even walk in public without thinking somebody bothering you. And people don't, from what I feel, young people especially who haven't really lived it, but they see it on TV, they glorify it for the wrong reason. And, you know, why do you think that is, or why do you think the media glorifies gang violence like that, especially on, even now, kids channels? Like, you know, why do you think that is?
I feel like
it's the norm.
I feel like it's how easily accessible it is. Like, I feel like when I was growing up, even though I ain't like too old enough, like, when I was growing up, you knew about certain street gang things because you was like over there. That's kind of what you seen. But now it's like you open Instagram, you see somebody from Louisiana on the same exact thing. Like, it's just too easily accessible, and then just, you know, they eat too much promotion behind it within music, movies, everything.
You gotta figure out who popular.
Yeah, you know,
who is the Michael Jackson of this generation. Like, who is the people this generation gonna look at? Like, for example, I just left school, right?
Yeah.
And at my school, they brought a rapper to the school today. He was a young rapper. He was around our age. But at the school I'm at, nobody at the school liked this dude. This dude had some prior beef with a lot of people. So they brought him into the school. About 30 boys got up and walked out. But it's just the norm. Like, this is glorified. Like, okay, you hard. This rapper walk in, you walk out, want to fight the rapper. But not thinking about the consequences. People think of like you said, a movie, a game. In a movie, you don't get caught. In a movie, you don't get locked up that fast.
Right.
But they don't realize, okay, if I jump this rapper, I'm going to jail.
That's cool.
That's just cool. You're going to jail. It's over with, you know. And I don't think people hit that. Like, when I got arrested, when I first got arrested, before I was in the streets, gun, gat. Oh, I ain't get caught at all. I'm gonna be real. But that one time when it just hit, it's like, oh, this real life.
It's real life.
It's not a game. It's not a joke. You know.
Yeah. So being arrested, That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And I don't know how comfortable y'all. I know you just mentioned yours.
Yeah.
Anyone else got a track record? I mean, you know.
Y'all say you definitely.
I know. That's cool.
We can talk about it. It ain't that crazy. Well, yeah, they don't definitely realize the repercussions immediately. Like, it's all fun and games when it's happening. And we gotta sit and call somebody through securities and they not trying to pay no phone money.
Tell you in the blues.
You know,
Tell you in the blues.
I'm staring at the loved one on the other side of their little glass.
It just, I feel like people think life's sweet. People think everything's sweet, you know. And as black people, it's like, dog, we went from slave ships to cotton fields to the White House. So why is we doing this? You know, we gotta lock in, bro. You know, we stopped progressing. What is we doing right now? We going back to our old ways. Search it up right now. They trying to take away our civil rights. They trying to take away the voting right. You know why? Because we still got so comfortable. You know, back then it's like we got to succeed. We have no choice. These folks are already doubting us.
Yep.
We got past that. Yeah, we got some racist stuff here and there going on, but we can do stuff we never was able to do back then. But we're not taking that as gratitude. We're taking it for granted.
Absolutely.
And now they trying to take it away.
But it's almost like a muscle. If you don't use that muscle, it eventually diminishes anyway.
Yeah, you know.
You know, like a lot of it is, I think, over the course of time, generations, like the faces of grandparents have changed. The faces of parents have changed. Like, we're getting younger and younger in our roles, and it's just a totally different feel.
Yeah.
And then going back to what you were saying about, you know, we've gone from slave ships to the White House, and you would think we have enough people that we can look up to, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when you only have people to look up to on TV? You know, like how I guess then do you think the issue of either current icons versus realistic icons?
I was gonna say, like, then again, when we grew up, y'all know it was like a real teenage period where it was only like things catered to teenagers. Like, you could get on TV and it's like Nickelodeon just for teens and stuff. Now it's like these kids, they go straight from Paw Patrol and it's straight to like, you feel me, straight to regular media. Like, it ain't no,
Ain't no middle ground, like like you
and
jumping off, even if you're not jumping off the porch in real life, you're
you're
jumping off the porch.
and the internet, and that's how it is. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it was these 3 dudes who got shot and killed, but it's basically off Instagram. These folks was hood on Instagram, talking all that mess on Instagram. Folks ain't never been on the porch to hop off the porch, or you been inside the house, you know? You feel me? And they've been on the side of the house, but on the porch on Instagram, hopped out the porch on Instagram, but then when they get caught in real life, they got guns. You don't, big homie.
Right.
You know, they want to be thugs for real. You will want to be thug, you know? So it's different. Like, I feel like everything is different. Like, I was talking to the Uber driver. It's two different. Her generation is different than my generation. Like, yeah, she said, I take pride in my city. This is where MLK walked at. This is, you know, but we didn't have MLK in our generation. Respect to Martin Luther King, you know, and like, we're living his dream, honestly. But we can't stand on the grounds on his dream because we didn't really go through the things that they went through, you know. But in the reality gonna hit is we taking, like I said, again, we taking this for granted. You know, it's gonna hit when certain stuff get taken away again. It's gonna hit. So I feel like as a community, we gotta go back to that village motto. Like, y'all say when y'all was growing up, well, towards your age, no disrespect, but look, y'all was like, you'll come home from getting in trouble, your next door neighbor will whoop you. It's not like that no more. You know, 10-year-olds walking around here with guns. Who you know? I had my 10-year-old cousin came to the house. Look, big cuz, look what I got. I had to slap, grab him, and had to, you know, had to jack him. Hey, that's not what you want. You're 10. How do you get this? You know? But you gotta understand, like you said, everything is an easy access now.
Everything is accessible.
Everything is easy. Look,
Everything.
if we talk about, I'm straightforward, okay? Sex in the community. You talk about drugs in the community. You talk about guns. We can say forget the gangs in the youth. We can talk about the drugs in the youth. We can talk about how youth is ODing out here. We can talk about how
drug promotion period.
What you can say how youth is out here catching STDs at young ages.
True. That's
You
true.
know, because everything is accessible. You know, it's lame to be a virgin.
You know,
It's lame not to be in the game. It's lame not to have a gun. You can talk about,
just be safe in the end. You know?
yeah, you know.
So what then? So wow, okay, it's a lot because you're right. I know coming up, shoot, we had. Look, I'm finna get this so wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I'm gonna say Smokey the Bear, but I'm pretty sure he only fought forest fires.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had something with Dare, like the
we
Dare
did.
program,
Yeah.
like don't do drugs.
Oh yeah.
Like just don't do drugs.
Say
And we
no,
said,
man.
oh shoot,
I'm
don't do
chill.
that. But now, like you know, even in the system that I teach in, there was in the month of January, I'm almost positive. I'm not saying I'm almost positive. We had 1 OD, no 3 ODs in a 2-week period,
Yeah.
and on my team alone, we had 6 drug busts within a 2-week period, right? And so, and I think that's one of the reasons.
school system.
Exactly.
The school system.
Not the school system, but you said that happened at school,
yeah.
then that mean they young.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
So what do we put in then, like so we talking about villages, now
Yeah.
we're bringing in school systems,
Yeah.
and you even talking about bringing public figures in to
Yeah.
speak. So what
I feel
type of
like-
resources do we, like, what
If
are
I'm
we
being
missing?
completely honest,
Uh-huh.
it's past the public figure point
Yeah.
because it's the disconnect factor. Like they not there in the neighborhoods. Like it needs to come from somebody who you gonna see every day. Like you know, somebody who probably done did not the
big
best
homie.
things and some reform themselves. Like someone you can really learn from their example.
So parents maybe,
Yeah,
or
parents.
people,
Like,
does that really help?
someone older. Like public
Sometimes,
figures don't really be. You know,
not even parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Whoever they look up to.
yeah, you know, like I know for a fact. Okay, I listen to my mom here and there, you know. But the thing about it is, like, shout out my mama.
Oh,
Truth. Hey, that's big dog all the way. Ooh, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and she noticed, and I'm very blunt with her. I tell her straight up, mama, there's certain stuff I can't talk to you about.
be like
You
that.
know. Okay, I know my mama when she was a little kid, she had some hood in her, but this a whole different hood now, mama. I can't talk to you about this. I gotta hit big bro phone right quick.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta hit big homie phone right quick. And then see, my big homie is Tyrone Dennis. That's
Yeah.
who I call up. And when I
Yeah.
call up him, he gonna speak some sense to me.
Shouts out to Clipper and Sweet Cops.
You feel me? The
Great
real one.
organization. Y'all look them up.
And I feel like you said, it's past the public figures part. It's past. I feel like it's what we promote more.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, get
I
a rapper
feel-
to say it.
you
They
know,
listen in.
Yeah.
or a rapper to say it's cool to be a lawyer and
You know what I
doctor.
mean? Like get one of these
It's cool to
Instagram
be a
models
judge.
promote it. It'll be-
So one of y'all got bars, y'all can be a rapper and tell the school your lawyer.
Man, I can. I can. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna do something great.
Yeah, oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
it.
Yeah. I like that perspective though. I mean, and I guess I like the fact that it really boiled down to even, I hope and pray, like even having these conversations, and I know y'all hit the nail on the head. As a mother,
Yeah.
I want my kid to come to me. Shoot, me being his big sister, it took him years to really just be real with me. But I gave him that space to do so. You know, I get it. I do. But at the end of the day, we want to be involved because, you know, we want to shield y'all from certain things. So if we can't shield y'all from certain things, and, you know, in the absence of somebody positive that you can look up to,
Yeah.
what do y'all think would have best helped y'all to either stay away from those situations that you got in?
Sports, any outlet period, any
Sport.
after school program, something that's gonna keep you from, you know, like, staying 2 hours after school ain't gonna kill you. Like,
Yeah.
I know. So last year is the year I got locked up.
Yeah.
10th grade year, I was 9th and 10th grade year, but 9th grade year I was playing football all year. So I wasn't doing nothing, but yeah, I was still in the street, still with the bros, but I couldn't pop out after school, be in the hood, because I get out of practice about 9. I'm tired. I gotta go home. That's 9th grade year. 10th grade year, I wasn't running track at first. Then my track coach came to my mama's car and was like, he's fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick him up for school every day and I'm going to take him home. So that happened. Then 11th grade year, I didn't do no sports. So every day at the hood, it was at the school, it was let me hit the hood, let me call up the bro, let me go smoke. then going to smoke mean, oh, let's chill out all night. I'm not finna go home no more. I'm out here now. I'm here. You know, that's how it was. But I feel like, as I said, this year was full year cross country and track.
Yeah.
So programs, people, the completely change. You got to change programs, people, places, and themes.
Okay.
You know, they need to change their friends.
Okay.
They need to change the places they're at.
Okay.
And they need to change the programs they're in.
Okay. So, piggybacking off of programs, so we mentioned sports, which is common. Because one of the things that I do, I help different organizations build mental and behavioral health programs. And one of the things that I do personally when I'm contracting with these companies is we build, for example, student interest groups. So for me, that looks like me engaging cheerleaders while they're at practice, me even trying to engage with football players. As crazy as that sounds, I done made it happen now. I had a team that made it happen. But basically catching kids in their natural environment. And before you know it, they're having these conversations. They're comfortable, putting it in a position to where, me being a mental behavioral health advocate, therapy isn't a bad thing, and therapy doesn't have to be like, oh, and tell me what you're feeling type vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are the types of ideas that I personally employ for the youth that I work with. So outside of those types of situations, what other great ideas could y'all propose for different leaders, whether they're politicians, educators, administrators, anyone that is in a position of power that can put these programs in place? Describe the programs that you guys would wish to see that you think would have helped you bypass some of your troubles or whatever has.
I'm not gonna say like any specific program, but like I don't know. It should be like I don't know. I was gonna say it just should have any incentives behind it, like something so they can look forward to.
Yeah.
Like anything they can look forward to.
Something that caters to hobbies that are more relevant or people are more interested in. Like there's a lot of hobbies I feel like people are finding on TikTok and just like scrolling and boom, you find a whole new hobby and you go in a rabbit hole. And I feel like if we could get those hobbies and show people like there's so much out there, why do that when you can do this and put your energy towards this? Right. Just redirect.
I feel like it's a lot. It's a lot. Like honestly, I feel like first with the programs, an idea I can have is like figure out the folks with absent fathers. Students with not both parents in the household. Like somebody that can fill that role, and even the parents that's not meant to be parents but they're parents. Because certain people have the heart to be. Certain people are parents but don't have the heart to be a parent. Some people don't have that father or mother's heart. To actually care or actually be like, okay, I need to be there for my child. Okay, I gotta be strict and stern at certain times with my child to really help them exceed and grow. So I feel like we gotta make a program that will put these males and females together and put them inside the school system and help them out.
So do you think that it would help then to have even some parental, I don't want to call it training, that's like parental education, if you will, you don't want to beat a dead horse, or you don't want to insult people's parents, especially if they're genuinely trying. But do you think it would help to get positions, because like you said, some people just ain't got it. Some people don't have that knack. I ain't gonna lie, I kid you not, when I found out I was pregnant with my son, I'm like, oh man, potty training and paperwork, I was hot. I was like, I can't do none of this. I hate paperwork to this day. Thankfully he started using the potty, so that worked out, but everything else came naturally. I let my kids know straight up, I am learning with y'all. So me having a teenage son is not going to help me a whole bunch once my daughter becomes a teenager, because baby, even now it's a different vibe. But I'm very transparent with them, so I'm still learning, but I feel that overall I do hella well with my kids. But I do know that, especially working with different ends of families and different types of families, I know that people have different struggles. So it's like, I feel, from my perspective, that watching kids experience certain things, that helping our parents understand what their role is, or even knowing where to go to help their kids is vital. And just even being able to, like you say, because it's a different generation, being more blunt with our kids.
Yeah.
But what is y'all's take on that? Because I need to make sure
buddy now, for real. Like,
you have to be buddy.
No, I'm saying parents be buddy. You know, my mom ain't going for that. But like, I believe, like, when some people be like, strict parents make you want to be more rebellious. But like, even then, you need to be, I ain't gonna say fearful, but you need to know it's like some true authority behind your parents. You know, like, I mean, like now. You young, you don't care. They should don't care.
I think it should always be like, I am your parent, but it should always also be an open space. So if I am your child and I need something, I'm not scared, like, oh, I already know the consequence, this is over, I just should figure it out myself. When 9 out of 10, your parents already figured that out and already know how to navigate and, you know, what to do in that situation. So just having that space will fix a lot of things, because it's like, I don't have to go to my friend that is on the same level as me with like wisdom and learn from them, when I can learn from the real wisdom as a parent, you know.
Okay. Let's see. So, we talked about parents. We talked about villages. We talked about resources. Do you think, you know, having experienced things, having done things, do you think that do you feel that your choices are still affecting you in this day? Because you guys are victory stories. Even though your stories are still unfolding, you guys still have a victory to claim. Because one, you made it out that lifestyle alive, for one. For two, you guys have the backings of mentors and families to help, you know, bring your dreams to life. But do you feel that there are things that you continue to struggle with or battle because of your previous choices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like after a certain point, like what he was saying, you don't want to just live like that every day. Like, it gonna put it gonna create like social anxiety. Like, you don't want to be out around a lot of people. Like, I don't know, like, it make you more timid with people, you know, like, or just
it's hard.
just anything for real.
Yeah.
Just be.
It's like, I'm not a part of that. I still got the same, like, I guess I'm still not the same person. I guess it could be paranoia.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, I'm more conscious. I'm very conscious. Like, even though, like, I know I don't have nobody to bother, but trust and believe, if somebody's walking, I'm very on point, like, and it's like, that's just something around me. Like, I know I'm not in the mix, but I still look over my shoulder sometimes. It's not out of fear, it's out of habit, you know.
Sometimes it don't even be a out of the mix thing. Like, the game gonna change regardless. It's gonna lose its player, game players, but it's gonna be the same game regardless.
Yeah.
They just gonna know you from over there, or know you do what you did before way back then, and they gonna think it's that. So really no point in, you know. I ain't saying don't change as a person, but I wouldn't say lose that mindset, like stand on point.
Make sure, because one thing about it is street smart and book smart gonna help, you know. And that's why I'm saying, even if you in the streets, you know, and even if you're not in the streets, don't go in the streets, you know. But if you in the streets, you can still leave the streets and get a little bit of book smart, and you'll be A-okay. Because let me tell you, nobody can try you, nobody can try to outsmart you or finesse you. Because you was the finesse at one point. You was outsmarting folks at one point. You know the book, you know, and you got some smarts in you too. So you good.
Right. Well, somebody say you can't play the game so hard, something like that. My cousin said. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't know. But no, I don't know, man. So I guess one other thing, and I want us to go across the board, and I also want everyone who's listening, I want y'all to add your comments, your resources, because like I say, we have a future politician on our hand, a future scientist on our hand, we have a future filmmaker on our hand, and just like they've been driving home, like, our kids, our youth, they need support. Don't tell them not to get involved with gangs. Don't tell them not to protect themselves if y'all ain't giving them the resources. They're not myself. If y'all ain't giving them the resources to make these things happen. So y'all be sure y'all are leaving them some resources, helping them build them connections, because that's what we're here for. We want to make sure our kids are well connected so that they don't feel the need to have to go find it elsewhere. So be sure that y'all adding those resources in the boxes below, inboxes, whatever have you. We're going to leave these guys social media handles if they want to, so y'all can connect with them so that they can also help you guys, because these are wonderful speakers. Like, I love their audacity to come up here and be authentic, to be transparent. I really appreciate them for joining me today, for breaking away from their school schedules, practice schedules, their work schedules, just so they can help me help pour into the community. Yeah. So before we blow this popsicle stand, old folks saying, I do want each of y'all to give like the best advice you can give both your peers and adults to help us better work and support you guys. But as far as your peers go, what's something important that you feel that they should know? So start with Princess Maya.
Okay. I would say for peers, don't be a crowd follower. Do what you know is best and do what is best for you, not best for your friends, because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's what you're doing. Like, it's your journey. So, you know, don't get distracted by people that are only going to be here for part of your chapter when it's your book, you know. And for parents, I would say just listen to your child. Like, don't always overspeak them. Have a space where they can open up, they can tell you what's going on with their life, and you know, like, just be there for them when they need you the most.
I was gonna say, what was the first question?
What is advice you want to give to your peers and just people in general?
Yeah. Honestly, for real, like, life is, you only get one life. Like, live every experience like it's your first time. Truly marinate in everything you do. Like, it's no guarantee that you're gonna do it again. Whether that be you want to try to cut hair or try to sing or try to go to law school, just do it 100% authentically. And for like parents, I'm gonna say it's cool to be, you feel me, friend with your kids, but like, you know when it's necessary to be the authoritarian, like, you know. But that's it for real.
All I can say is never give up. Like, never give up. Like, life is gonna get hard. God didn't put us on this rail for it to just be sunny and rainbows every day. He put us in this rail to overcome adversity. If you can't overcome adversity, you're not gonna be great in life. Never give up. No matter your story, no matter where you come from, you can overcome that. And when you overcome that, you got a testimony. When you got a testimony, people get more attracted to you. You know, you're going to have a bigger voice when you go through stuff. If you go through pain, then you have strength. The same pain you dealt with a year ago, you're not dealing with that pain now. So if you're dealing with something now, a year later, you're not going to deal with that same thing. Stuff is going to keep happening. It's just for you to overcome that.
All right. So, as we go, again, I thank you guys for joining us. I thank my panelists, my guests here, but I also got to give a shout out to Flavor Rich in Atlanta. You see my shirt? You see this ambiance? You feel the vibe? Shout out to them. Make sure y'all check them out at that new location. Oh yeah. And then also, Clippers and Cops for making the introduction to this young man over here. I have watched him over the year blossom. It's been amazing. Also, the few films behind the camera for just making sure that we got this thing flowing and going. But we gonna plug her in too, because that's our filmmaker. All right, y'all be wonderful, and we will catch you on the next go round.